What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today it's our second rebuild of the Madden 21 season here with the Washington football team. Now, very much like when the Chargers left San Diego to go to LA and everyone still called them the San Diego Chargers, I'm going to try my best not to call them the Washington Redskins and go with the correct name because let's be honest, I'm not a PC person, very almost anti-PC, but they did the right thing changing that team name. But I'm going to try and limit the amount of times we call them the Redskins, but it might happen every now and again. But we were here, and we're kind of starting out in the draft order of the 2020 draft. We did the team with the first overall pick. Now we're on the team with the second overall pick. I'm not necessarily making that the order that we're doing these rebuilds. It's just how it started. Maybe we will carry on. Maybe we won't. It depends on how I'm feeling. Also, posed a question on a poll here on YouTube whether or not we should just streamline and make all these rebuilds realistic rebuilds, or have two different types of rebuilds that will be coming to you guys on the channel. One is just rebuilds like you're going to see today, and you saw in the Bengals rebuild where we use generated draft classes, and then a realistic rebuild style rebuilds where I use my custom draft classes, because I'm going to need about a month to get those draft classes built up so that those realistic rebuilds actually make sense and are different. And it was about 45 to 55. 45% said make both different style rebuilds. 55% said just use the real rookies and stuff like that. Because obviously, I mean, that is the niche on my channel. So I completely get that. But I think it will be better long run to do rebuilds like you're going to see today with generated draft classes and then be able to come back and do a realistic rebuild with custom draft classes. It's going to be a different experience in both styles. So if you guys do appreciate and understand and you'll be rocking with me, because very, very excited, man. The success and how much you guys are enjoying that very first Bengals rebuild really is inspiring. It's motivating. I was just at a cottage today, and everyone's like, man, that first Madden video, boy, is popping. I was like, yeah, man, thanks. And it was like people that didn't even like work on my channel. It's me, because it's only me. But they were like, man, it's good to see that video doing well. And it truly is, it's an awesome feeling, man, because Madden 20 was not our best year for rebuilds. I would even say Madden 19 was a better year on the channel for rebuilds than Madden 20 was. We had that little heart-to-heart, and I realized that it wasn't good. It wasn't in a good spot. And seeing the very first rebuild of a brand new Madden do that well, it's encouraging, and I very, very much appreciate it. So if you guys are just messing around with my channel for the very first time, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 150,000 sooner than later. Smash that like button if you're hyped for the Madden 21 rebuilds. Again, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. That being said, now we're almost 3 minutes in. Let's get into the actual rebuild here of the Washington football team. Let's look at our roster. The 77 overall. It's one of the worst rosters in the game. I would say, though, it's probably the best 77 overall team in terms of a rebuild. We will start at the quarterback room with Dwayne Haskins Jr. entering his second year of Ohio State. 70 overall with a star dev. He is a scheme fit, which is nice. 89 throw power, 84 short accuracy, 76 speed, 83. I mean, he's a solid athlete. There was some questions that with Ron Rivera coming in, they could pull an Arizona Cardinals from that 2020 draft. Where Arizona had Rosen, and then they just straight up drafted Kyler Murray. People were thinking that they would do that here in Washington. They might not have gone Chase Young at 2 and drafted a quarterback and then found a way to trade Dwayne Haskins. Maybe to I remember the rumor was Pittsburgh potentially. But they decided not to go that direction and commit to Dwayne Haskins. So for this rebuild, I'm going to try and commit to Dwayne Haskins Jr. as our quarterback. We're going to have an interesting point, though. Year 4 into year 5, that final 5th year of this rebuild, that's when Dwayne Haskins is going to be looking for that contract. If he's not good, I'm not paying him. I'm simply not going to pay him, and we'll try something different and something weird for that 5th and final year to win a Super Bowl. But I'm somewhat optimistic, maybe. I don't know why either, because he was awful in Madden 20. He would never develop. He'd never play well in the sim. So hopefully Madden 21 is a different story. Speaking of stories, Alex Smith, what a comeback. Went from he's going to have to get his leg amputated because of, I don't know if it was gross negligence from the medical staff here in Washington. That is just probably the worst in the league. But now it looks like he's cleared for all football activities. He's coming back. He's going to be a backup. In real life, wouldn't be shocked if Alex Smith finds a way to start some games next year. But for a Madden standpoint, he's a very expensive veteran. That is a lot of money to be kind of tied up into a backup quarterback. So I will be happy sooner or later when he decides to hang it up, call it a career, and free that money off our books. Running back room, would have been nice to have Derrius Guice if he wasn't such a piece of garbage off the... What an idiot. What an idiot. I'm glad Philly kind of exposed him a little bit during the draft process. They were like, no, this guy sucks. Basically, it was like a fight. Like, that never happens. That's the only time I've ever seen it. So, Yeah, a little bit more work to do at the running back spot. We have Adrian Peterson, one of my favorite players all time, but for a Madden rebuild, 35-year-old running back is less than ideal. I do respect him. I probably will have him, and I will definitely have him as our power back, but he's not the running back of the future. We got to get some of these young guys some snaps. It's not going to be McKissick. It's not going to be Peyton Barber. I'm looking here at the bottom two. Antonio Gibson, a great weapon out of Memphis. Not a complete running back by any means, but he could do a lot of things well. He can catch the ball well. He's almost 230 pounds, got some size to him, even though he's only a 59 power back. I think there's definitely a future him, but I'm looking more so at Bryce Love. Bryce Love, as a junior, was a Heisman contender for Stanford. One of the worst decisions to return to school, and he was awful that final year at Stanford, but I think there's a ceiling there. So I will be going with Bryce Love as our starting running back here in year one for the Redskins. Is it going to pan out? Is he going to be here and our starter next year? I don't know, but I'm going to give him a chance. He's going to have a chance to earn this role and become a franchise running back and become that guy, not his last year at Stanford, but his second last year at Stanford, that really looked like a guy to be a first-round pick and a potential franchise running back. Wide receiver room, we got Scary Terry, one of the best value picks from last year's draft. 83 star dev, 83 deep threat, fits the scheme. I mean, if you're looking at the best young wide receiver in the NFC East, probably Scary Terry. I mean, you got Darius Slayton on the Giants is pretty good. Michael Gallup on Dallas, CeeDee Lamb on Dallas, but I think I'd take Scary Terry of all, because I mean, we'll put Amari Cooper out of this bubble. I'd probably say Scary Terry is the best young wide receiver in the NFC East. Like I said, 95 speed, 86, all those stats are ridiculous. Incredibly well-rounded. He is a franchise player. He is the best offensive prospect we have by a lot. Because beyond that, I mean, you got Latimer, he's bouncing around a couple teams, Inman, Trey Quinn in the slot. I mean, we might get something there. You got Steven Sims, 23. Ooh, we got a star dev, though. Okay. Well, we'll have McLaurin on the outside. Sims with that star dev will go as our slot wide receiver. And then, I mean, we got Calvin Harmon, who's actually a fairly solid value pick out of NC State last year. He's 71 physical. We got Gandy Golden, another really good value pick. I think we'll go Gandy Golden and McLaurin on the outside with Sims on the inside. That'll be our wide receiver. And there's chance that there's ceilings there. There's dev traits at hand that those guys can develop and grow into a solid wide receiver core. Tight end, no more Jordan Reed. They got, it's not good. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably just going to throw Thaddeus Moss. Throw him right into the Wolves. Definitely shouldn't have left LSU. Should have stayed there. Ended up going UDFA, trying to get by on his name value and the hot playoffs that he had for the LSU Tigers. And I get why you might want to declare. You're not going to have Joe Burrow there. But, I mean, it didn't help him out. But for the sake of this rebuild, I mean, he definitely has the highest ceiling, the most upside out of all of these tight ends. So, sure, why not? We'll go Thaddeus Moss as our starter. It's still a position that, even with Moss, he's not going to develop that much as a rookie. We definitely need to look at a tight end sooner than later. Offensive line, doesn't get better. Da'Ron Christian will be our starter. He's a 65. I mean, best thing he's done is block for Lamar Jackson. So we need a left tackle. We need a franchise tackle. Get rid of, you ship off your franchise tackle because your gross negligence of a medical staff. You get pennies on the dollar from the 49ers for Trent Williams. It's kind of what you deserve for an organization. Guard, we got Wes. Wow, we'll go Sadiq Charles, the rookie out of LSU. He will be our starting left guard. It's still not good. At center, Chase Roulier is at least a little bit better, 75. He's 27. Scheme fit. This is a god-awful offensive line. Scherf is definitely the best of the bunch. 87 superstar. He's 28. I'm pretty sure he's getting into a contract year, though. But, hopefully that Alex Smith contract comes off sooner or later. And there'll be no issues whatsoever re-sign him, because absolutely need to re-sign him. He is probably, the highest overall player on the team? Yes, so we definitely cannot let that walk out of the building. We will do everything in our power to retain his services. And a right tackle, you get a serviceable right tackle here in Morgan Moses. So generally speaking, outside of Scherf, got to completely rebuild this offensive line, and that is not easy, especially because it is apparent that the high bench press cheese in the draft does not work in Madden 21, or doesn't work as good as it did in Madden 20, so it's just a little bit more difficult to draft offensive linemen. Defensively, here's where we got some decisions to make. We got Ryan Kerrigan, let's call them the Redskins, Washington football team legend, 84 superstar, but he is 32. Definitely on the downswing of his career. even though this is not a realistic rebuild, it just doesn't feel right putting Ryan Kerrigan up on the trade block. So I'm gonna hold on to him, but I think we have to have Montez Sweat as a starter. 76 star dev Montez Sweat, A-tier athlete, one of the freakiest athletes in the entirety of the National Football League. I was looking at maybe being able to salvage him as an outside linebacker, but his coverage stats suck, and you're rocking a 4-3. I do not want him getting picked on, so we'll keep him at defensive end. Obviously, we'll have to have a rotation there, but I think it's just better long-term in this rebuild to maximize Montez Sweat while his XP to go up to only 6,000 versus, say, giving Kerrigan this year, and the next year it's like 8,000 for Montez Sweat to go up in overall point. I don't want to be messing around with that. Right defensive end, we have the god, Chase Young, pound for pound best player in the 2020 NFL Draft, 80 overall. We know the dev trait. If you know the dev trait, you know what he's going to bring. If you don't know the dev trait, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but he's a beast. 80 speed rusher, scheme fit, 85 speed, 91 acceleration. We got 86 strength, 84 pursuit. I mean, he's going to be very, very cheesy. I'm going to be interested to see if he can kind of take over that Myles Garrett type, just super OP in the sim. Because they kind of do that with some of the hyped up young defensive players. They just make them no matter what. They're going to get 14, 15 sacks every single year. I hope so. We need it. But I think Chase Young, definitely the face of this rebuild. And I hope that he can reach, 90, 95, something like that before all is said and done during this 5-year period. D tackles, we got a lot. We got to try to trade some. We got Matt Ioannidis at a Temple, 86 star. He's at 26. We got Da'Ron Payne, 84 star at 23. And then we got John Allen, 82 star at 25. I think I'm going to put up John Allen and Matt Ioannidis on the trade block. I'm going to evaluate what we could get for either and then make the decision there. Obviously, you want to try to maybe probably flip John Allen. I think he's actually in a contract year, so it'd be nice to flip him. But whatever gives us the most value, I will side with that. But it's going to have to be considerably more valuable to maximize on Ioannidis so we get more than, say, just, John Allen, just taking whatever it is. So, I mean, we got 3 very, very nice options here. But we need to get that down to 2. And if we can get an lineman, if we can get a tackle, we can get a guard, we can get a tight end. It could be looking good here. Ooh. Well, Philly always looks for D tackle. I wonder if I can get Dallas Goedert. I'll look at that in just a second. Linebacking core. So we have Sean Dion Hamilton and Cole Holcomb. I like Cole Holcomb a little bit more as an athlete, so he will be our starter at outside linebacker. But 2 solid prospects for sure. I think Holcomb, he lead the team in tackles last year. He had a lot of tackles. Dude I don't even know if was he UDFA, was he drafted, but 136 tackles. I know he had an insane pro day. I think we'll probably go Cole Holcomb there at left outside linebacker. Middle linebacker, we got Reuben Foster, who's now seemed apparently to sort his life out after that insane rookie season with the 49ers. I think he tore his ACL or something like that last year, didn't get to play. 75 normal dev, but there's a chance. I'm going to gamble that we can develop him into a nice player. Right outside linebacker, we got the veteran Thomas Davis Sr. See, again, you're kind of seeing like, man, what does Montez Sweat do if we make him a right outside linebacker? What's the rate? Like, if it comes push to shove, would I rather Thomas Davis, veteran, get snaps, or Ryan Kerrigan, veteran, get snaps? I think I'd rather Kerrigan. I mean, it's a 75. Probably. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Corners. We got Ronald Darby as the highest rated corner. Ronald Darby's your highest rated corner. You're going to have problems. He was not good for Philadelphia. If he plays 16 games, you might get 3 that he looks like a good corner, and the rest he just gets burned. It doesn't make sense. So that's not great that he's our top corner. Colvin, you got Moreau. Do we have any dev traits? I don't know how Darby's still pulling a star dev. Outside of that, do we have any dev traits? Moreau, normal. We got Slim Jimmy Moreland from James Madden. It's, another position. Much like the entirety of the O-line. Corner, we have to go all in and rebuild that. Free safety, we got Kendall Fuller coming back to where he once was playing really, really good football as a corner. White Lightning's there. We'll keep him as a free safety, I guess. 86 star. Could move him to corner. I mean, it gives us options. We have some flexibility there, but solid. Probably an overrated rating, given him really his play since he went to the Chiefs, but I'm not going to complain. We need all the help we can get. Strong safety, we have Landon Collins, 81. That is actually, oof. He has regressed a little bit here since leaving the New York Giants. 81 star, though, still pretty good. Run support, scheme fit. A guy that's definitely more of your traditional safety, more of a linebacker. Like, I would be surprised if he was coming out now, versus 5 years ago. He might be a linebacker. I'll tell you right now, we're cutting this piece of garbage before we even get in the rebuild. This guy is gone. So that very, very dirty hit on Darren Sproles. Special teams, Hopkins, solid. punter, Tressway, one of the best punters in the league. So the special teams we're happy with. But generally speaking, have a lot of work to do here for the Washington football team. First thing is first, so let's sort out those defensive tackles, figure out if we can shuffle one to improve the team elsewhere, and then let's get into the 5-year rebuild. So we were able to find a trade partner, and it was John Allen. I was surprised. John Allen carried more trade value than Matt Ioannidis. Don't know why, but we're able to flip John Allen, a 4th-round pick, and a 5th-round pick to the Rams. We're out of favored tight end Gerald Everett because they have Tyler Higbee, and a 3rd-round pick. Really, really solid value. Happy with it, and we don't have to gamble that 62 overall. Thaddeus Moss would have to be our new franchise tight end. Everett, much higher ceiling, much higher probability of being a playmaker sooner than later, and to develop into a safety net for Dwayne Haskins. We got the team to 53. Couple players had to go. We cleaned up the running back room just a little bit. No more Peyton Barber. He was probably the biggest cut, at least like the biggest name cut on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, just a lot of depth guys. Had to take your papers. You had to take your papers. And best of luck. Maybe we'll stash on the practice squad when we can. But it's time to now set our season goal for year 1. This is, it's always year 1. Let's just make it 4 wins. Something super attainable. And I think with the talent on this team, I can see 5 to 6, but I'm not ready to gamble on 7. Don't want to get fired. So we're at the midway point. It's never ideal to have your best player on offense be unhappy with you. Frustrated receiver is definitely the case because we're not playing. 2 and 5 is not great. Luckily, the NFC East is the NFC least, and we're still only a game back of the Eagles and the Cowboys. That's a plus. That's definitely a plus. Scouting is, oh my God. The Bengals rebuild, we needed linemen. You could never find one. I'm here again. It is garbage city. I got, that's our best looking guy. A 7th rounder with late 4th round talent. I don't know if this is going to be a common trend throughout these generated draft class rebuilds, but this is we got this guy here, which is nice, but he can't flex him with the tackle, but we do need a left guard. Right now, he is definitely the highest player on our draft board. I'm looking at guards with length, like 6'5" plus, that can maybe swing the tackle. There's not much there. And then right tackle, it's just absolute garbage. So, scouting, hey, it's a wake-up call. Madden 21, at least it's different, right? Looking at the players, we're starting with Brandon Schriff, especially for how bad our O-line is. Yeah, 3-year deal, by all means, get him locked up. Gerald Everett, we didn't just trade away John Allen to let this guy walk, so we'll keep him until he's 30 if he wants to stay here. We got Kerrigan. I think we can wait and see how many sacks he is, because Montez Sweat's developing as an outside linebacker. Obviously not an ideal scheme fit to Montez Sweat, but he's already had, we're at week 8, and he's had 3 skill point upgrades, so maybe we can continue to ride Ryan Kerrigan until he retires, until he regresses, and keep Sweat as an outside linebacker developing, and then when it's time to clearly move on from Ryan Kerrigan, switch Montez Sweat back to a DN. But we'll wait and see what Kerrigan can do. Darby, I don't want to put Eagles bias in it, because that's not a brutal contract for a guy that's an 80 star. He's only 26. Keep him till 29. Probably wouldn't have to worry about too much regression. So, that's not a bad, brutal contract. Same, we got Reuben Foster here. I think I want to continue to develop him until he's 29. See what we can do in the next 3 years. Wants a little bit more money. I think I'd be willing to pay that. Outside of that, none of these guys are really notable. None of these guys are really priority. So we'll come back to see if we can lock up Reuben Foster, and that'll be it for our signings. So at the end of year 1, surprise, surprise, things did not go very well. 3-13, last place in the NFC least, 2nd worst team in the NFL. We lost 8 in a row to close out the season. That should be enough to get us a tiebreaker for that number 1 overall pick. And right now, the draft class, if you don't need a corner or a wide receiver, we kind of could use a corner for sure. Corner and wide receiver were the only strengths of the draft. You'll see that when we get right before the draft. I'll show you my draft board. Looking at our roster, though, we had one dev trait that we had to unlock. You've seen one of my videos, I broke it down, but Chase Young, the hidden dev, is in X Factor. Number 2 overall pick of Ohio State, is the first real rookie to get an X Factor in Madden. Obviously, very small scope. It's only been 2 years, but it's still something. And I think it's definitely deserved. He's an absolute beast. Fingers crossed he did not play really bad. Like, if I see him getting 2-3 sacks, I'm not going to be happy. But, I mean, he's already an 86 overall. I think before all is said and done, we get to the end of year 5, he's going to be 99. I think we're going to have a 99 Chase Young. I hope we do, because that's exactly what we need. That's exactly the kind of spark we need on the defensive side of the ball. So let's look at the stats. I'm going to assume Dwayne Haskins didn't play particularly well. Worst passer rating. Skip Bayless would love that. You know, that's a stat he likes. We had the worst touchdowns. I mean, you got weapons. You got weapons. We moved defensive assets to get you an offensive asset in Gerald Everett, who I think was an 80-star, 79, 80-star dev tight end. And, you know, you have Scary Terry. That's not good, man. Not great vote of confidence for Dwayne Haskins. I kind of wish at this point I scouted some quarterbacks, because it might be very short-lived, the Dwayne Haskins experiment. For Bryce Love, 5 fumbles. Oh, my God. Not good. It's... Maybe we go, what's Bryce Love at? He's at a 74. W. Gibson's at a 7. Maybe we go Gibson as our starting running back next year, unless there's someone there in free agency that we can upgrade to. Then I'm pretty sure it's always going to be, you know, it's going to be like a Kareem Hunt, an Alvin Kamara type guy, maybe. Steven Sims in the slot. The slot wide receiver cheese continues. That is actually a really, really good season. 65 catches, almost 1,200 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Almost 1,000 yards for Scary Terry. I will say it's very short-lived because we've only done 2 rebuilds. I will say the wide receiver numbers in the sim seem to be marginally better, marginally more realistic than what they were in Madden 20. But, you know, I guess everything's always going to be blown out of proportion because it's still heavily dominated by the slot wide receivers that you're never going to get an accurate representation statistically of your wide receiver one. But that's still not a bad year for Scary Terry. And hopefully Sims, with that performance, might go up to a superstar depth, which is going to be weird. Sims having a superstar dev before Scary Terry, but it is what it is. And Gerald Everett, I mean, that's actually pretty good return on investment. You know, John Allen probably wouldn't have played, and we just got a tight end that 66 catches, almost 800 yards and 4 touchdowns. I don't think Thaddeus Moss would have put a year like that. 48 catches, 400 yards for Gandy Golden's not bad either. Who's garbage on the O-line? I guarantee we had some pretty audacious stuff. Nothing's too egregious there for the sacks given up. Defensively, we got 112 tackles, 10 TFLs from Reuben Foster. That's not bad. Please don't have 2-3 sacks for Chase Young. I don't even want to look. Oh, that's not bad. I mean, Kerrigan leading the team is a little weird, but that's not unrealistic. 18 TFLs, 10.5 sacks. 14 TFLs, 8.5 sacks for Chase Young. I'll take that. Even though it's a little bit disappointing, that's not that much worse than, like, Nick Bosa's rookie season. So, you know, that's not bad. Montez Sweat, solid. 20 TFLs. Matt Ioannidis, that's a huge year. Interceptions, Landon Collins on the team with 2. Ronald Darby had 2. Makes me feel a little bit better about that contract extension, but generally not good enough. 30th offense in the NFL, not surprising because Dwayne Haskins was not good. Defensively, top 10. So that's, you know, Ron Rivera's righting the ship on the defensive side of the ball, which is, you know, kind of his specialty. So let's just get used to this. Cam Newton is going to be your Trubisky. At least, you know, Cam Newton, the optics of Cam Newton always being there in the MVP conversation on the Patriots is a lot easier to swallow than Mitchell Trubisky, than Jacoby Brissett, like those guys that we saw consistently in Madden 20, but it's still, I don't know, it looks a little weird. Herbert as a rookie for the Chargers coming in number 3. Burrow as a rookie for the Bengals at number 4. Daniel Jones at number 9. Okay. Weird year. And the NFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Drew Brees. I mean, I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of award winners. Defensive Player of the Year went to Khalil Mack. Ryan Kerrigan, hey, shout out to the veteran. We thought about maybe trading him. Our only player with an accolade so far. DeAndre Swift is your Offensive Rookie of the Year. Gibson at 4. Gandy Golden at 6. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to... Why? He wasn't, like, it's not even like that, like, old glitch where a guy would come out of retirement, they'd put him in and classify him as rookie. Bradham's just been in the game. Oh! Why? The simple things, man. The simple things. Chase Young coming in at, I guess, at number 3. Why? Why is it like, oh, I mean, okay. I'm not going to say let's give him a break, but it's still an early build, I guess. You know, like there'll be a patch from the game officially drops on the 28th, but copy paste bugs. Copy and paste bugs are the most frustrating thing. Steven Sims, wide receiver 2 in the NFC. Kerrigan, number 2 D-line. Linebacker, we had nobody. Defensive back, we had nobody. Kicker, oh, did we even get a kicker? He didn't even make it. But Chase Young was really good. Unfortunately, the rookie Nigel Bradham, who won the Super Bowl with the Eagles a couple years ago, and is very much like going into probably like year 8 or year 9, got the defensive rookie of the year. But either way, I mean, we knew the season was kind of going to be a crapshoot. Let's get into the offseason. Let's spend some money. Let's have a great draft. All right, so we did say that. Oh, he went up to a superstar now. I did say I would keep Kerrigan if he. What did I said? 8 sacks. He got 10. He went up a dev trait. Pretty much. I mean, it's a 1-year deal. We're not going to be spending a whole lot of money in free agent. I'll see if we'll come back on that. All I'd say. I'm not even going to say it. I'll get demonetized. So as we hop into free agency, it's always going to be a great year to need a running back. I'm thinking of all the rebuilds we're going to do. This is a good time to pull the trigger on one of the big name running backs. Now, Kareem Hunt, old Washington, probably would have fit in, but Ron Rivera, we'll see what happened with Derrius Guice, and no one happened with Kareem Hunt off the field. There's no bids on either Aaron Jones, who's a huge fan of my channel, or Alvin Kamara. Looking at it, it's just weird seeing Aaron Jones be higher rated than Alvin Kamara, but I'm trying to think, like, the most Washington pick would be probably Aaron Jones. So obviously we'll probably have rebuilds if, these are always going to be guys that are there, to get Alvin Kamara in another rebuild. I think for the time being, they're both pretty much the same player. It's just a little bit cheaper getting Kamara. There's a better player, though. In almost every sense of the word, I think Alvin Kamara is the better player. But Alvin Kamara not totally proven, I guess, yet as the lead back. Whereas, not even Aaron Jones has. Let's get. We'll get Kamara. He wants a 5-year. What is? Oh, they both want 5-year deal. Okay, yeah, we'll get Kamara. We might not get him, but we'll put a bid in on Alvin Kamara. And then our other bids is we're just pretty much trying to bring back our 2 top free agents that we let walk. Chase Roulier at center because there's no one else. And then we're going to bring back literally the exact same offer I offered Ryan Kerrigan before. He said, no, I want to test out free agency, but definitely want Kerrigan after his breakout year to play and finish his career in Washington. Hey, that ain't bad. Kerrigan wanted to go to greener pastures, but still getting 2 out of 3. Roulier will be back being center. Alvin Kamara coming in at running back. That's huge, man. I'd see what Alvin Kamara can do. Maybe having a running back like that can hopefully take some pressure off Dwayne Haskins. We'll also be able to take Dwayne Haskins to the next level. Having that weapon out the backfield, hopefully it pans out. Obviously, we paid him a lot of money. 5th-year option here on Da'Ron Payne. I think we'll pick it up. I think Da'Ron Payne inside Matt Ioannidis on the D-line. It's a strength of our team. Let's not have that strength become a weakness by potentially letting him, much like Ryan Kerrigan, have a breakout year, go up dev trait, and then just flip us the middle finger in free agency. So it's draft time. We missed out on the 1st overall pick, who looks like an absolute beast. Joey Nash of Oregon State, 81. So it's pretty much, it's Chase Young's clone. I might have drafted him. He was on my draft board. But looking at our pick at 2, there are some good options for sure. I'll show you my actual big board right now. Again, we want to go O-line. There is not much. I got like a center with an early 1st rounder, and he's a late 2nd. So I will definitely pull the trigger on that guy if we most likely can get him in the 2nd round. But looking at the board here, there are some quarterbacks, but nothing that's amazing. This guy here with a 7.1 combine grade, like that guy looks real juicy. 4.44 speed, A+ throw power. But I don't want to give on Dwayne Haskins just yet. You give it up on a guy like Dwayne Haskins just after 1-2 years. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt. But that is, we'll definitely after the draft see what that guy looks like. He's Lamar Jackson. It's a really good draft to need corners and wide receiver. We got a great value there in the 6th round with the 1st round. But obviously you'll see these picks as it comes. O-line was weak. Wide receiver is very strong. There are some very, very nice looking wide receivers. I think I had one guy that was the early 1st. This guy, Kevin Noel, out of Clemson, 6'1", with speed. But our wide receiver between Sims, Scary Terry, it's surplus. And also at the quarterback spot, I get 2 4th rounders here with 2nd round talents. That's more the range I would feel comfortable this year drafting a quarterback, as much like we just saw, if you guys remember, not too long ago, Nigel Bradham winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. The whole data reorder bug is still in the game. Can't be too loud. My kid's sleeping upstairs. But our pick is going to be this guy. This Enrique Benjamin out of Kansas. 6'3", 205, 4.36, early first rounder. We need help at corner. Darby cannot be our top corner. So Enrique Benjamin is the guy. Number 3 in true value. Getting him at pick 2. Dev trait is just, that's all I can look at. There's a lot. Everything else outside of that dev trait is really, really good, and I should be happy with it. But 77, almost a scheme fit. I mean, that is, 6'3", 205 with 94 speed, 94 acceleration. The coverage abilities aren't bad. 91 jumping, 70 catch, 67 hit power. I mean, this guy here can pretty much play. He could be a safety, but all said and done, very, very versatile. Just the dev trait looks disgusting. So the center, we got to think with our heads. The center that we have an early first rounder on for how bad our O-line, that has to be the pick, but the Lamar Jackson guy's still there. Lamar Jackson is, like if Dwayne Haskins sucks again, it's not going to matter what kind of Nope. Put the blinders on. If he's still there in the third round, absolutely. But our O-line is horrific. First round, we got to get him. 76. Number 4 in true value, getting a 34. Okay, it's a good pick. Dev trait, the dev trait kind of sucks. And I have no proof to confirm or deny that O-linemen go up dev trait here in Madden 21. I hope to God they do. But, we've already seen the bugs. It's going to be the same shit. But, hey, one hell of a player. Those assholes! Ellington just went! Oh, my God, we almost got him in the third round. We're going to have to double check the stats. He's 72. Probably have a dev trait. Oh, that's so annoying. That would have been like the perfect start to the draft. And now here's what we're looking at the draft board. Oh, man. That's a kick in the pills here. Auburn, Miami. We got Brooks. Who's going to be the better of the two? I don't really know any good indicator for picking a quarterback. I will grab one of these guys, though, now. 6'4", 240, 6'3". We'll go with the thicker boy. Nick Fisher, 60. If you're just straight up comparing the base value, Ellington, even though the stats were insane, it's only 72. It's not that big of a drop-off. It still was a good pick. Number 63 in true value. Hopefully remember the name of the other quarterback. I can double-check. That 93 throw power looks pretty good. So if I'm being honest with you, I'm still generally pretty happy with the draft. The dev traits weren't there, but it's starting off with a 77 and a 76. Pretty good. 69's not bad. I doubled up back-to-back 71s at wideout, just adding that much more depth. We got a lot of competition at wide receiver. We got a 67 tackle and a 68 corner out of Clemson to finish out. So that's a really, really good draft. We have to go look at the Jags. I got to go see that quarterback. Don't have a dev trait. Just don't have a dev trait, please. Oh, my God. 92 speed. And he has a dev trait. Logan Ellington out of Stanford. 91 throw power. Oh, my God. 84 deep. 83 throw on the run. 82 break sack. 92 speed. 92 acceleration. 90 agility. 94 change of direction. 84. This might be a star. The only way I'm gonna be able to get over this if he's just a star dev and he's just, a really, really freaky scrambling quarterback, but he's not gonna be. If it's superstar, X Factor,
all around me are familiar.
Before we get into year 2, it's time. Let's get Alex Smith's ugly contract off the books. 18 mil. Still take a pretty big penalty, but can't just keep carrying that around. Year 2 for the Washington Redskins. Let's just put everything that happened from that draft behind us. It still was a good draft. One of those things, be happy with what you have and not what, it's under your control and all those different things. Yeah, it applies here. We had a good draft. We got good players, but, it's still just, we now have a what if in this rebuild. Like, what if we drafted differently? What if we got that quarterback? What if Haskins still sucked? Either way, we're at 83 overall. Roster is on the uptick. Definitely adding someone of Alvin Kamara's caliber in free agency is going to be huge. We need him to play huge. We need him to play like lights out Alvin Kamara. In terms of dev traits, none on the offense. No dev trait upgrades. Again, just to continue that suspicion that there's no dev trait upgrades for linemen. Let's just keep an eye on that because definitely want to make note for that official Madden 21 review that hopefully will be coming out to you guys tomorrow, if not Tuesday. Defensively, we did have some dev traits for sure on the defensive side of the ball. because Ryan Kerrigan pretty much gave us the middle finger. Montez Sweat can move back to his more natural defensive end position. Very, very happy with that front four. Holcomb went up a dev trait. He's a 76 star. Foster and Hamilton will make up the linebacking core. It's solid. Fuller's 87. Safety tandem's good. Darby's not regressing or anything like that. Benjamin, I mean, come on, man. Get up that depth trait. Get that defensive rookie of the year. Go up that depth trait. 77. Throwing the rookie to the Wolves here. We got Slim Jimmy will play in the slot. I think I actually have him in the slot. No, come on. Let's get Slim Jimmy in the slot there. So yeah, I mean, let's just put that quarterback behind us. It's gonna be so annoying if like year 4, year 5, he's winning MVPs with the Jags. But hey, come on, Dwayne Haskins is our guy. Let's go. Halfway point, year 2, still very much in a rebuilding stage. 2 and 5. I'm hesitant to look at what Dwayne Haskins has been doing, but we're bottom of the NFC East. It's not good, but I guess there could be an argument to be made that the offensive line is so bad that we're not really giving Dwayne Haskins a true shot. I guess there is some validity to that, but push comes to shove. You know, if you're going to be a game changer, you're going to make plays. Russell Wilson can survive with an O-line. Plenty of quarterbacks that are really, really good can make plays with below average offensive lines, and I'm guessing Dwayne Haskins is struggling. Looking at scouting here, more of the same, man. These generate classes O-line, like all the they're always garbage. I do have a really nice looking guard here, 6'5", 306, best of the bunch, because we still definitely need to go all in on the offensive line. But generally speaking, I mean, we got a couple good prospects. Don't get me wrong. Our draft board here, there's a couple safeties just in case, you know, get some regression there from Landon Collins. First round corners so far, I think even dating back to that Bengals rebuild, corners, very, very strong year for drafting corners. But definitely the best value pick there is that left guard. Contracts. I don't even know who that is from the face, but all right, we got Steven Sims. I mean, he's been delightful. Was really solid for us last year. I would even be hesitant to give him a 5-year deal. 5-year, 46 mil. Get him locked up. I mean, no one else here really jumps up the board. It's like, I mean, I like White Lightning. We've used him in a couple different series on the channel, but he's replaceable. I mean, Deion Hamilton starting, he might get enough tackles to go up a dev trait. So just in case that does happen, I will come back, give him $500,000 more. I'll lock him up. He's not a bad player scheme fit, even though he could definitely be replaceable. But let's lock him up in case he does go up dev trait at the end of the season. At the end of year 2, actually a really, really strong finish. We beat Atlanta. We beat the Bucs. We finished 7-9. It's still last, but the optics of where we are and how bad our O-line, 7-9 is not a bad record year 2 in a Redskins rebuild. Unfortunately, we had no dev traits to really key on, no dev trait scenarios that were successful. So let's just jump right into the stats. Dwayne Haskins did have a player of the week performance against the Bucs in week 16. The stats are still, I mean, he's less than 60% completion percentage in that Josh Allen territory. 3,300 yards, 24 touchdowns, 11 picks. Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm pretty much at the stage that there's a really good quarterback in free agency or the draft. I'm probably going to pull the trigger, at least at worst, add that competition. Kamara definitely was an upgrade at running back, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. I like seeing that. Paying immediate dividends, not a bad investment. Receiving, we got 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns from Sims. Eaton in the slot, 900 yards, 4 touchdowns. Scary Terry, 7-3 for Everett. Everett's been really, really solid since we brought him. He's developing nicely too. He's up to an 84 star. Definitely a lot more impactful than Mr. John Allen would have been. Defensively, Ruben Foster, tackle machine, 106 tackles, 3 sacks. Benjamin, the first round draft pick, 96 tackles and 1 interception. 11 sacks, Ioannidis, 8.5 Chase Young, 7.5 Montez Sweat. Still not the numbers you would expect out of Chase Young. You want to see him getting at minimum like 12, 13, 14. Still waiting to have that breakout year, but it could be coming. Looking at the yearly walk. So we were the number 18 offense in the NFL. Better than being, 31st last year. Still a top 10 defense. So if we can get offense here, defensively, we are good enough to make the playoffs and go on a run. Just kind of already throwing shade at Josh Allen. Of course he would win the MVP. Winston at 2. Is this Madden 20? Looks like Madden 20, but is it actually Madden 20? Offensive Player of the Year went to Mr. Brady. Defensive Player of the Year went to Eric Kendricks. Offensive Rookie of the Year, no one. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Benjamin, number 3. And then for the rest of the awards, no Redskins, not really surprising, but at least we're going up a little bit. The only guy that really isn't trending in an upward direction is kind of the most important guy in Dwayne Haskins. But, let's just see what the offseason brings. Can we upgrade the quarterback spot? Who knows? Let's find out. Before we hop into free agency, just wanted to give you a little wink. Of course, Sean Dion Hamilton, we wanted to sign him because he might go up depth trait. He went up depth trait. So, great foresight from myself re-signing him when we did, because it would have been a little bit more expensive if we waited till the end of the season. Looking at free agency, I mean, you could make the argument that someone like Fred Warner, and you're Ron Rivera, you want that guy that can be the Luke Kuechly of your defense. But, I mean, we got 3 star dev linebackers. They're playing serviceably. Our defense is top 10. I don't think we need to spend that much money to bring in a middle linebacker. However, I do want to spend money on the offensive tackle spot. We'll go cheaper. We have Brian O'Neill here, 82. He costs 15 mil versus Orlando Brown, who's an 88. He costs 35, almost 36. So, I mean, we'll just go with a little bit cheaper option. Some competitive bids there. I will be very, very deflated if we don't get Brian O'Neill. He's the only guy we want to commit to. Quarterbacks. No. I mean, obviously, these are 2 guys, if it's bad in 20, they're MVP candidates almost every single year. But keep going with Dwayne Haskins. Should get him up to an 80. Maybe we'll take his game to the next level. And very nice, getting our top target, Brian O'Neill. We're going to swing him over to left tackle. 5th-year option for Mr. Dwayne Haskins. Tell you right now, absolutely not. He's going to have to earn everything from here on out. I'm not giving him anything just because he's Dwayne Haskins. It's not a Dwayne Haskins rebuild. It's a Chase Young rebuild. And we know he's a freak, but honestly, Montez Sweat is also not... I'm not giving him one either. Has he even been close to leading the team in sacks? Like 5 sacks, 6 sacks, the most he's got? Oh, you got to earn it too, bud. Now, for the draft, there is a quarterback there, but he's not... late first rounder. I mean, the stats look actually pretty solid, but that's the kind of guy, if he's still there in the second round, I'll get it. It's not like a, yes, make this pick in the first round type quarterback. If he's there in the second, I will consider it. Obviously, Beasley here, first round grade on the offensive line. He'd be another good pick in the second round, but you're looking at guys that we have to get now. This is more so future-proofing the strong safety spot because I think it's going to be pretty harsh regressing coming sooner than later. For Landon Collins, Nick Peterson out of Auburn, 6'4", almost 200 pounds. Skills look good. Early first rounder. 7.0 combine. Yeah, we're going BPA. I'm not messing. Give me some dev traits. Nick Peterson, 77 overall. Number 2. Getting him at 14. Scheme fit. No dev trait, though. 6'4" with 89 speed, 92 acceleration. Good pursuit. Good hit power. Could even debatably flex him to linebacker, maybe. I don't know why you do that, but I could. I have the option. Give me some dev traits, man. So for our second draft here with the Redskins, it's not bad. I mean, again, right now, spoiler, no dev traits, but we got a lot of targets. No one below a 60, so that means I've yet to have a draft where I've got a dud, like a 50. I know it's only 2 rebuilds in. We got a 63 kicker. Went with the tallest kicker. Seems like that's kind of nerfed a little bit. That was almost automatic in Madden 20. Tallest special teamer, be a kicker or punter. Had a high rating, 63. I mean, it's not bad. 66 corners, 68 outside linebacker. Got a 70 linebacker here. Middle linebacker in the 3rd round. That's good value. And we're able to get that guard that the first round grade in the 3rd rounder. Kai Beasley, 72 normal dev. Might have a chance to actually start at guard. So, solid pick. And obviously that strong safety, kind of future-proofing that safety position. I'm almost kind of, cheering for Landon Collins to regress so it actually looks like a really, really good pick. Let's take the quarterback. We did pass on a QB. I think he went... Did he go? He was gone. Did he sneak in the first round? He did. We passed Daniel Jackson. He's 72 normal. All right, not a bad pass. Not a bad pass. Not like last year's draft. Year 3 for the Washington Redskins. I mean, the base is good. 85. We trended in the right direction last year. That's the positives right now. The bad news is we still have no idea of what is going to be going on here at the quarterback spot. Through 2 years, Dwayne Haskins has been, to say the very least, inconsistent. 20-8, 24. He's going up very marginally, and I don't know. I'm getting ready to say it's almost do or die. The offensive line is as good as it's been. I mean, generally speaking, that's not a brutal offensive line. We brought in Brian O'Neill in free agency. We got Russell. We got Scherf. Moses is, average. The worst guys on our line are still like average. So this is going to be a big year for Dwayne Haskins. We declined the 5th-year option in the offseason, so you want to get paid, I'm going to need to see at least, at minimum, either the playoffs or 30 touchdowns. Don't break that. I think we're going to look elsewhere for the quarterback position. The offense, remains essentially the same outside of Brian O'Neill. No real additions to the skill positions. On the defensive side of the ball, we had 2 depth traits. We saw Sean Dion Hamilton because we pat ourselves on the back because we gave him that contract extension before he went up dev. But also Matt Ioannidis, who had a very, very productive season last year, went from a star to a superstar dev after getting, look at that, 33 TFLs in the last 2 years is very good, but 11 sacks is also very good for a guy that predominantly is more so a run stuffer than I would say a pass rusher, but it's Madden. They don't really know how to decide that or determine that. I'm good with it, man. I'm really good with this defense. Our defense has been top 10 through our first 2 years. Hopefully that remains the same, and Dwayne Haskins, Alvin Kamara, Scary Terry, and company can get the job done on offense. I feel like if we even have like a top 15 offense, we make the playoffs. So midway point, you might be looking at yourself here, weekly awards. Oh, it's a losing effort, 42-21, but someone may have had a big game. It's like, yeah, Reuben Foster, 15 tackles, but then you realize that Daniel Jones just threw for 6 touchdowns against the strength of this Redskin team. The only good thing we've done so far is build a top 10 defense, or at least maintain and develop a top 10 defense, and they just got smoked in a losing effort to Daniel Jones. So that gives you an idea where we're at. We're 2-7-1. It's not good. For scouting, I'm kind of holding off on the O-lineman because it's so bad. We'll just do those at the very end. So our draft board, there's some guys for sure. We're working our way through the quarterbacks here. We got this guy, Brandon McCullers. Might be the best of the bunch out of Alabama. Mid-first rounder. I'm interested. I'm definitely very interested. Got a couple first rounders here. It's a good year to need D tackles. Unfortunately, we do not need one. But just BPA scouting. Got a couple real solid looking D tackles, a couple first rounders. In terms of value picks outside of it, we got a couple diamond in the roughs here or there. Got a second round corner with early first round talent. We have a second round center with early first round talent. We got a second round outside linebacker with late first round talent. We got a second round center, late first round talent. But the best value so far is Keenan Vasher, third rounder with first round talent. Again, we look at this team. We need to go all in on offense. It seems like so far for the Madden Generate draft classes, really outside of wide receiver, there's not much going on offense, and everything's been defense, and we need offense. Contracts. So we got Matt Ioannidis right out the rip. Absolutely best, probably our most consistent defensive player so far. He wants a 2-year deal. We get that deal done. Scary Terry. What's he want? 4 years by all means. Got him, Da'Ron Payne, again, continuing. We got to keep this core together. I'd give him even a 5-year deal, less than the cap hit for us. We got Montez Sweat. He's been okay. It's more so I still think there's a ceiling there that he can develop and take his game to the next level. That's a wait and see. I like Cole Holcomb. I never thought at any point in this rebuild I'd be more open to paying Cole Holcomb than Dwayne Haskins, but here we are. Now, there's actually some tough calls here for depth players, but I feel like we'll just wait and see. Slim Jimmy, we can... Yeah, we'll wait and see. In terms of, we got all the guys that we wanted to sign right away. They all locked in. They're all committed. Ron Rivera got them committed to this rebuild. But Dwayne Haskins, it's not looking good. It is not looking good for Dwayne Haskins to be a member of this team next season. So at the end of year 3, we were able to win the last 2 games, to not finish last. Why? What happened in those 2 games that really, C4, led your team? Oh, I just benched Dwayne Haskins for this guy. In 2 games, Nick Fisher went for, it wasn't him. 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 300 yards. Okay, definitely wasn't him as the reason why, but maybe it's just, the team's not buying in what Dwayne Haskins is selling, and he's not a leader. He's not... no one wants to play for him, and they just wanted to play better, and everyone else stepped it up for the last 2 games. I don't know, but we had no dev traits to worry about. Had a bunch of failed ones. You have the regular rigmarole. 6, 9, and 1. Dwayne Haskins had his best year. Still not good enough. 3,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks. His completion percentage is ugly. Very ugly. I don't think he's been over 60 yet. Let's see. No. It's harsh. It's not good, man. We got to get a new quarterback, new era for the final 2 years of this Redskin rebuild. Right the ball, Kamara, very solid. 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 and 6 for Gibson. So we had a great 1-2 punch at running back. Receiving Sims, 9 and 9. We got 8 and 9 for Scary Terry, 7 and 3 for Gerald Everett. And that's pretty much, we peak after that. But I'm glad that these three guys consistently are performing at a decently high level. Defensively, Reuben Foster, 128 tackles, 9 TFLs, 3 sacks. We got 11 sacks. Chase Young brings a... That's all what kind of reaction he gets, because that's what he should be doing. But that's good to finally see him up there. 7 sacks, Matt Ioannidis. 5.5 for Cole Holcomb for some reason. 3 picks, Landon Collins leading the team. Interceptions generally still not ideal. Number 25 offense. I feel like our defense was a little bit worse this year. They were 19th. Yearly awards, MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. As assumed, I mean, I'm not mad at that. Anytime MVP goes to a legit guy, you can't be mad. Oh, offensive player of the year. The runner-up was the quarterback at LSU we passed on. Good to know. Good to know we're just bottling this rebuild. All right. Well, we have 2 guys here in defensive rookie of the year. Nick Peterson, that safety that we bought. We actually had him playing a little bit of slot corner this season. But for individual awards, you're not going to see any Redskins because it's just yet again another just bad year. I'm kind of hoping that there's a quarterback in free agency that piques our interest because I'm not overly confident with that QB in the draft. But then again, the last 2 quarterbacks that we kind of thought about drafting, one went to the Jags and was a superstar Devin Lamar Jackson, and the other just won a whole lot of awards with the Chicago Bears as a rookie. So maybe we do pull the trigger on that one quarterback we do like in the first round. So as we come into free agency, have not a whole lot of money to spend, but we have enough that if there's someone that's a really solid upgrade here, we could make a move for sure. So we're gonna be looking at 2 Atlanta Falcons, former Atlanta Falcons, Isaiah Oliver, 26-year-old, started to have corner, 78, just to throw him into the mix here, add more depth at that corner spot. Caleb McGarry at right tackle, 76-28, no dev, but there's no other bids on him. It's not too outrageous because the draft is just so bad for offensive linemen. That's actually, that's solid. That's a serviceable tackle. We got Josh Oliver as depth tight end. I don't care if I don't get him or not, but it would just be nice to have bodies. And then, hey, let's bring a fullback into this offense. That's what we're missing. It's not a franchise quarterback. What we're missing all along is Phil Duggan, a fullback. Wow, we got McGarry, but not the player we had like 100 plus point bid on. Isaiah Oliver gave us a middle finger. Okay. All right, dog. And as obvious of a 5th-year option as you can pick up, we will continue to pick up the option for Mr. Chase Young. I'm going to play with fire here. I'm going to play with fire because we need corner. Not as bad as we need a quarterback. We need a corner and a quarterback. Looking at my draft board, that QB that we like is a late 2nd rounder. Quarterbacks always slip. Almost always, probably until this year. So I'm going to draft this corner, and I'm going to hope and pray that we can get that quarterback in the 2nd round. We'll get Alex Clifford here, 75. Of course, he doesn't have a dev trait. Number 9 in true value. Drafted him at pick 9, slot corner. All right, solid player. Definitely what we needed. Huge upgrade. I think he's like 6-7 points better than our corner 3 that we already had. But come on, Gable has to pay off. Give me that quarterback. Still on the board of the 2nd round. Please and thank you. Finally, something's going right. He's still there. Brandon McCullers out of Alabama. Alabama just known. Actually, maybe Tua can bump the trend of Bama quarterbacks just being ass in the NFL. Brandon McCullers, 74 normal dev, number 16 in true value, getting him at pick 41. Strong arm, scheme fit. Finally, something in this goddamn rebuild works out in our favor. I'm not gonna lie. Literally, if you had to get a comp for this guy, you would say he's Dwayne Haskins. Draft recap. Happy with the draft yet again. Still maintaining our no pick below a 50 through 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 drafts now. No depth traits though. We got a couple 67 linebackers in the 4th round, 66, trying to just swing and miss on another kicker. But we got 70 tackle, D'Angelo Lindsley out of Texas Tech. He actually looked like a solid player. Might have something there. And obviously the first 2 picks. Happy with it, man. Able to get the corner we wanted. Able to get the quarterback we wanted. Of course, just no dev traits. Definitely way less dev traits in these draft classes than they were in Madden 20. Or maybe I'm just getting super, super unlucky. But I'm happy with it. Good draft. And it's going to be the Brandon McCullers era. And how fitting. Let's be honest. There's one team that loves drafting Alabama players. It's Washington. So now they got themselves an Alabama quarterback to go with pretty much their Alabama defense. Let's make the wild card. So we got year 4 for Ron Rivera, looking for, you know, his first good season. Don't know how he still has a job, probably because of third coach firing off. Because that's the only way this rebuild even makes sense, because we're very bad. We're at 86 overall. We'll leave the coach firing when we do the realistic rebuild series. We got McCullers here now at QB, but actually maybe even the biggest addition is Alvin Kamara went up a dev trade. He got the trust factor from last season where he was very good. I definitely think he deserved it. And I'm glad that we brought him in, because who knows? I mean, remember we had that crossroads. Do we get him or do we get Aaron Jones? And so far, it's definitely been the right decision going with a player of Alvin Kamara's quality. But now we need this guy, Brandon McCullers. Just be better than Dwayne. Even though you're Dwayne Haskins. Even though your stats are Dwayne Haskins. Don't be Dwayne Haskins. That's all I'm asking. Not a big ask. Offensive line, we brought in McGarry to help solidify. It's a solid O-line now. 76 is the lowest, and I'll take that. Defensively, I don't think much has changed. Darby has regressed, so Benjamin will be our corner 1. Clifford, our first round pick, will be corner 3. You can definitely see now, if we didn't get Clifford, you know, corner room would not be as well-rounded and consistent across the board. The front 4 is still outstanding. Linebacking core is solid, maybe even underrated. And on the safety pairing of Fuller and Landon Collins, I drafted his replacement because I thought he would regress. He's 29, has yet to regress, which is good. I actually think did he go up in ability? Was that last offseason, or did I completely miss it? Yeah, he did. So literally, a complete waste of a high-round pick, drafting Nick Peterson, because he's just not playing. We're going to have to find a way to get him on the field. Maybe move one of these guys to linebacker if we can't re-sign like Reuben Foster or something like that. I don't know. But we'll just say this has been a weird draft. Not my best drafting rebuild, but if McCullers can be better than Dwayne Haskins over the next 2 years, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how well I drafted. It matters that I hit on the picks that I needed to. So McCullers, let's go. Please give me 30 touchdowns. So first year as a starter for McCullers. Week 3, we get in a shootout with the Buffalo Bills, 41-38. And look at our offensive player, the rookie. NFC, Brandon McCullers, 4 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. Dwayne Haskins never did that. I don't even think once he did that. So we had an early bye here, but it's a good time to look at it. Everyone's happy unless you're Scary Terry, because we're 3-1. New quarterback, new era. It started out very, very well. Contracts, we have Brendan Scherf. Pretty much like a thing that I think we're going to have to do in Madden 21 here in the rebuilds, because usually we like moving on for players. I think we're going to have to ride in talented linemen into the ground, because you just cannot replace them in the draft. Like, I would not be able to get anyone even remotely close to replace 91 Brandon Scherf. We got Kendall Fuller. Again, I mean, our salary cap's still enough room to play with that we can make signings like this. I think we've drafted well enough. We have 2 corners now on the roster. We can move on from Darby. Reuben Foster, again, I feel like we can get maybe a little bit weird at linebacker. We can let him walk. He's been our leading tackler, though. He's got to regress below a 7. I can't do it. We've drafted well at wide receiver. I thought maybe we'd get a second contract for Gandy Golden, but we have a lot of talent at wideout that, that extra little bit of money is something I'd rather just take with me into the free agency period. So, hey, we got Fuller and Scherf. Happy with that. Good business so far for the Redskins. Year 4 is finished, and no playoffs, but we were competitive. 8-8. I can't say for sure that we're going to make the playoffs in year 5. Cannot say for sure. This could be an utter failure of a rebuild. I mean, the Bengals rebuild that we started was exciting, but was still a failure. Pretty sure we lost Super Bowl in that one. This one here might also be a failure. Might have 2 back-to-back failures, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying hard, and that's all that matters, right? I'm trying hard. Let's see what the QB did. I mean, we had no hidden devs to worry about. Oh, my God. It must be the offense. 20 touchdowns, 11 picks, 3,500 yards. I think Dwayne Haskins is in Tampa. Why? Oh, why? I'm doing that right now. I'm just gonna change this up. Must be the offense. This offense is probably garbage. The scheme it is, anyways. Let's see what we got. Vertical power run. We're not even a. We'll go vertical zone run. Who has a vertical zone? What's the Bucks? Can I just take the Bucks? Can we just be Tampa Bay? All Bruce Arians? Vertical zone run. Let's do that. Let's just copy it and work for Dwayne Haskins. We got to do something. It's clearly the offensive scheme's not working here because we have a 91 offense for the QBs to be strong like that, and then seeing Dwayne Haskins be night and day in our scheme versus another system. Let's give McCullers a little bit of, like, again, it's just 59. Oh, what is this? I mean, Kamara and the running backs are happy. 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns for Kamara, 14 touchdowns for Antonio Gibson. On the receiving, Scary Terry led the team, 900 yards, 7 tutties, 7-4 Everett, 7-2 for Gandy Golden, almost 7-4 for Steven Sims. Defensively, 100 tackles for Reuben Foster. We had 9.5 sacks. Why is Cole Holcomb getting sacks? He's not even like messed up on the depth chart as like a sub D end or something like that. He's just Chase Young, 6.5 sacks, 6 sacks for Montez Sweat, 5 for Matt Ioannidis, 2 picks, Enrique Benjamin, but interceptions generally are down. We had the 12th. I mean, the running attack was very good, but the pass attack was off. 12th offense, 7th defense. So again, if you're trying to preview, can we make the playoffs in year 5? Yeah, our team's not that bad. We just need a little bit more. I don't even want to say what consistent. Just we need better play from our quarterbacks. We let Dwayne Haskins walk, and he was a runner-up for the MVP. Offensive Player of the Year, Dwayne Haskins. Hey, we had Offensive Rookie of the Year. We had something. God damn it. We feel like I suck at rebuilding now. It's good in the year 5. So since we're gearing up for our final year, might as well try to spend as much money as we can. Actually, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. Because it's all or nothing, I don't want to not make the playoffs. Let's see if we can land Stephon Gilmore. Come on, 100-point bid. Give him like 9.5, 3.5, or 9.5 and 8.5, somewhere in that range. 1 year, $18 billion. Stephon Gilmore. There's quarterback options if you really wanted to, but I think McCullers with the scheme change would probably be better. I mean, Green Bay just not happy with the quarterback room there. But looking at our bids, so Gilmore, I'm looking at KJ Hamler to come in and be our wide receiver 3. Jonathan Taylor to eat into those running back 2 numbers that we saw from Gibson. We let walk. We got Kyle Fuller. Let's bring the Fullers together. Let's make it a big, happy family. And then might as well upgrade our kicker while we have the money to do so. All right, so far so good. Jonathan Taylor, Stephon Gilmore, Joey Sly, and KJ Hamler have accepted their contracts. So we got $5 million. I mean, we don't even need Fuller, so it would have been nice to have him here, but no, we're good. We got Stephon Gilmore. We're Gucci. So our final draft here in Washington, at least we're maintaining no one below a 60. Actually, a really solid draft. No one below a 68. We got 3 defenders late that are all 68s. Vincent, the linebacker from South Carolina, another corner from Bama, keeping that Bama pipeline going strong for the Washington Redskins. We got a 70 middle linebacker, and then I just going BPA. I mean, at this point in time, we're not going to get any upgrades. So we got a center here, Josh Morales, 76. Of course, just a normal dev. Actually looks like a really solid player. Wish we could have found a guy like this earlier on. And then quarterback in case we're at like midway point, not looking good. We have to throw the Hail Mary. So we got a quarterback that's wearing number 31. Breaking the rules out of Clemson. Brian LaMontagne. Definitely sounds like, or Bryce. Should be Brian. But Bryce LaMontagne sounds like an alias. 100% an alias. This guy's done some shit. Where's the bodies? You know? But he's a 75. I mean, looks solid again. Literally fits the build of like Dwayne Haskins. But hopefully with that scheme change, we can get Dwayne Haskins, the Dwayne Haskins we saw doing damage down in Tampa Bay. Year 5, all or nothing time. Our season goal, it's the Super Bowl. That's it. Why not, right? Lofty expectation. We're in 8. I've done a hell of a job. I think our team's already better than that Bengals team that we did. 89 overall on the offense. We've found a way to battle through some of the worst offensive line drafts to build an O-line that's really solid. I mean, Russell ended up being really, really solid. He's probably one of the better centers in the NFL. Made a trade to get Gerald Everett in here. He's been very, very solid. Been able to develop homegrown talent like Scary Terry, like Steven Sims, bringing in, our own guys in free agency like Alvin Kamara, who's been exceptional. We got KJ Hamler here to be our wide receiver 3 for the final year. Same with Jonathan Taylor as a death move. Come on, McCullers, don't suck. We're giving you another chance. We're going to a brand new scheme. don't suck. 30-some touchdowns. Give me 8, 9, not 8, 9, 10 wins. And let me squeak into the playoffs. Defense is outstanding. The front four remains the same. Linebacking core, Cole Holcomb went up a dev trade. We let Reuben Foster go to free agency, so we moved Nick Peterson. Undersized, but great rating for a linebacker. Still just sitting behind Reuben. I thought about either him or Landon Collins, who would make the most sense to move the linebacker. But Collins just went up dev trade as a strong safety, so we'll keep him there and move Peterson here. Great mobility, sideline to sideline. Maybe not great in the run game, as he's not even 200 pounds, but we're going to rock and roll with it. But the biggest get on the defensive side was Stephon Gilmore in free agency. He chased the bag. He got the rings in New England. He's going to bring that winning mentality to our locker room. Hopefully he, along all these guys, can give us a top 5 defense. And again, we just need like a top 15 offense, and I think we'll make the playoffs. So hopefully, switching schemes, literally trying to rip off Tampa after Dwayne Haskins left us, went to Tampa and was unreal. Pay some dividends here for the Redskins in year 5. And I just called them the Redskins. I don't know how many times I've called them the Redskins because they're the Washington football team. But I told you right at the rip, I was going to call them Redskins a bunch of times. That's what happens. You know what you're getting yourself into. Like, subscribe. Well, this is a good omen or not. Nick Peterson, the safety move to linebacker, went up dev trade 3 weeks into the season. So maybe we should have just made him a linebacker all along. Coming up for the bye, 4-4. Second place. Behind. Let's actually sim this game, because this is actually a huge game. Could, you know, twist the division up, and it's a tie. Of course it's a tie. How's our quarterback doing? 14th, 7th. Okay, we're in the 20s. We're not. We're out of the 20s. We're out of the 20s. We're in the teens. We'll keep the quarterback as is. Come on, man. Finish this stretch, though. It's gonna take us 9 wins to win the division. That's all I'm asking for. So the final week, and it comes down to this: 7-7-1. We got the 9-6 Bengals. You look at the division. Dallas has a 1-game lead. They're 8-6. I don't know if we win and they lose, who has the tiebreaker or not. I'm not going to let, you know, a promise I'm going to be doing here in Madden 21 is if it looks like there's a chance we're going to have no gameplay, no playoffs, I'll play that Week 17 game. This is obviously a unique situation because if we do find a way to win, we might make the playoffs. It's going to be annoying, but at least you guys are seeing. There's a little bit of a Madden 21 tutorial here. It's, hey, you like rebuilding? Good. You like winning? Good. Well, either don't have Dwayne Haskins or switch your scheme right away if it comes time to build the Washington football team. Because obviously I made enough mistakes here to last 10 rebuilds. But I'm going to hop in. We'll play this Bengals game. Do everything. I mean, that's a tough game anyways. They're 9-6. They're a playoff caliber team. So we're going to hop in. We're going to try to win. Get some gameplay. Hopefully it works out in our favor. And a win will get us in the playoffs. If not, hey, just got to have to hold another L here for the Madden 21 rebuilds. Scary Terry, just right off the rip. Right off the rip. Scary Terry, one hand. Oh, that's what happens. I hope that wasn't 33-year-old Jordan Poyer trying to press man coverage my 96.7 speed wide receiver. Because if not, I'm going to break the touchdown record here today, and I'll just keep picking on that matchup. All right, so let the sim do its thing here a little bit. Obviously, in true playoff fashion. You know, we don't want to just completely take over and get this win. I want the team that I've built to be able to handle their business a little bit, and obviously we're struggling here today. Going to halftime down 14-10. Go for it. They're going for it? 4th and short, you're going for it, boys? Okay. Let's let Chase Young do his thing. Number 2 overall pick going against the number 1 overall pick. Chase Young gets there, brings the pressure, made a quick throw from Joe Burrow. We get off the field. Turnover on downs. The offense going all the way downfield, getting a touchdown. Let's take a shot. See if they still have Poyer. That must be a different Poyer. Could be a retired Poyer. But Vert still it hurts. Quick. No, we missed it. Oh, no, we did it. That is bad defense. Switch your DBs around. Come on. Hope for a little bit better. I mean, everyone's lauding the CPU and all that stuff. I'm not seeing it. It's still, I don't know, bad matchups. Scary Terry, let's get it. Okay, they're not going away. They're definitely not going away. But come on, finish this drive off. Finish this game off. Don't make me come in. How are you not hit? Don't lose your shit, don't use your shit. Just come in and win this game, don't lose your shit. Maybe Alvin Kamara at the backfield. Look, he's... Oh, they actually did... Probably not the best throwing that jump ball to like 5'9" KJ Hamler. Now, we'll make the caveat, the computer needs to make this field goal. I will put it on a silver platter for him, but I physically don't want to have that much control over my season. I want a little bit of the rebuild here, so we'll grind the clock out. It's literally an extra point. Might even be shorter than an extra point. Make this field goal and put the Washington football team into the playoffs, or give us a chance to go into the playoffs here. I wish I could just watch it. We made it. We made it. We did what we had to do. Now it's all up. Dallas needs to lose, and whatever the tiebreakers are. I don't know what even the official NFL tiebreakers are. Why is that so bright? Is it head to head? Is it? I don't know what takes precedent. I don't know if it's head to head, because if it's head to head, I feel like we lost both games to Dallas this season. But if it's NFC East record. Maybe we got a chance there. But that was a great game. McCullers almost 400 yards. Threw it so many times. Scary Terry, 180 yards on 10 catches. Washington did the deal. Can Dallas collapse like they always do and help us get in the playoffs? Let's find out. We need Dallas to lose. Please lose. They did lose. They still had the tiebreaker. And it's still a horrible record. That's still nothing to be... We're a 90 overall team. You know, this video is coming out. This rebuild's coming out before Madden officially drops. And, you know, you can use this video as if it's for you or not. You know, is Madden 21 going to be for you? Like I said, hopefully I'll have my rebuild out Monday or Tuesday. I literally just been like, as I'm playing, like I have stuff from my stream. I'm Twitch streaming a little bit. Keep posted on my Twitter. When I do stream, I'll let you know it's there. But I pretty much like took that Twitch stream, and I found like a couple bugs in highlight. And every time I do a rebuild, there's a couple things that pop up directly ahead. But if you want an advertisement, not an actual in-depth Madden review, but just like, hey, what's franchise like this year? I know it's not that great, but is it playing a little bit better? There you go. We're a 90 overall team. We've been 85 plus for the last 3 years, and our best season in 5 years was 8-8. Yeah. I mean, looking at the stats, maybe we could have changed schemes. I mean, it's one of those things like, should I have to? But like, no quarterback here in Washington is going over 60% completion percentage for some reason. He had 30 touchdowns and almost 4,000 yards. Happy with that. Kamara was a beast. Our running attack was on point for this entire rebuild. Almost 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Scary Terry, almost 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. Steven Sims. So they've been really solid throughout. Obviously, you still don't have the Sim wide receiver 1 numbers that you want to see. But Scary Terry's, at least he's always been around like 900. It's not like Madden 20 where like your wide receiver 1 would be like, oh yeah, he had 700 yards, 6 touchdowns more often than not. Nick Peterson, thriving, moving from safety to linebacker. 128 tackles, 7 TFLs, 3.5 sacks, 4 picks, 9.5 sacks from Chase Young. I mean, was Chase Young disappointing? I mean, kind of just looking at the stats here of our squad. Obviously, we can't really rate some of these guys because they weren't here long term. I mean, you know, that's not bad for McCullers, though. 2 years in, for a 59% completion percentage, still have 50 touchdowns and 26 picks. That's not that bad. Receiving, Scary Terry's finishing this a little bit of rebuild, 5,600 yards, 41 touchdowns. Who would have thought Steven Sims would have more touchdowns at this point at the very beginning of this rebuild? Everett was solid for us throughout. Happy with his performance. Defensively, you know, Cole Holcomb, tackle machine, 500 some tackles. We got through 5 years, Chase Young with 44 sacks, so a little less than 10 sacks per year. You know, below expectations, yeah. Was he bad? No. Interceptions for our team. I mean, Nick, the fact that a 1-year starter is the highest player that we have that's been with us the whole time kind of goes to show we just didn't have a lot of turnovers. We're getting the interceptions, even though our secondary was good, even though our defense was more often than not top 10, top 15, somewhere in that range. The box score stats weren't always there. MVP in the final year was Lamar Jackson. Do we have any award winners? The old Washington football team, they did. Best linebacker, Nick Peterson. Damn shame we didn't make that move soon. I mean, we didn't really have to make that move because we had Reuben Foster on the roster. So I'm not going to really second guess myself on that. But, I mean, you know, we can second guess ourselves. I think this rebuild, outside of the fact that clearly there was an issue with the scheme is just not good enough in their first year. Switching to a better scheme, we had a lot better performance on the offensive side of the ball. The worst, this thing was starting to go downhill when we didn't get this guy. When we didn't draft Logan Ellington, 85 superstar dev, 93 throw power. The accuracy's in the 90s. He's at 90. Why didn't we? I mean, has he been good? He didn't even play for the first year. He actually hasn't even been that good. But from a prospect standpoint, you can only imagine what we would have been able to do with him. So that was definitely the downfall of this rebuild, in my opinion. But, I mean, we still rebuilt the Washington football team from a team that was horrible, god-awful, to a 90 overall powerhouse. Roster standpoint, very good. Just unable to really apply that on the field, which is unfortunate. But, like I said, we're going to be doing realistic rebuilds. So we'll have another swing of things here with the Redskins sooner than later. Like I said, it's not like I'm going to be doing 32 generated rebuilds and then I'll do my 32 realistic rebuilds. They're going to be mixed in here or there, and especially teams that we lost on, we weren't able to win in the generic rebuilds here. I'm definitely going to want to, sooner than later, hit them back up on a realistic rebuild just to try to, you know, just doesn't sit well with me that I was unable to win a Super Bowl here with the Redskins and previously with the Bengals. But that does it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. As always, if you're first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Trying to grind our way to 150,000, then on to 200K. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this rebuild. If you love seeing the tablet here just in Ron Rivera's body, smash that like button. That is me here today, guys. Let me know what team you want to see next in the rebuilds. If you want me to keep going in order, obviously we'll skip the Detroit Lions because that's our main Madden franchise. We could go to the number 4 pick, which I think is the Giants. The Giants, and then it would be the Dolphins. I don't know. Let me know what team you want to see rebuild next in the comment section below. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be back with our official Madden 21 review. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Till then, peace out.